And welcome, friends across the world, to the Great British Mickey Waffle. I'm John, and you are in for a treat tonight. And in order to maintain our positive British outlook on life, we very carefully highlighted that our aim is how to be a good guest in the park, how to maximise your plans, and actually how to ensure that your next trip to the park, your next park day, is one that you'll cherish and remember forever for the right reasons, and not because you put your child on your shoulders and recorded it on an iPad with thousands stood behind. I'm sure there'll be plenty more of them to come, but stay with us, join in the chat, share your own thoughts, your handy tips, and be a valued part of the whole show. Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle Live.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go. And welcome one and all. This feels really strange. I'm going to get this out of the way now because a lot of people have said, "Oh, you're stopping for the summer." Well, actually, yeah, because actually the logistics of us not stopping for the summer were just crazy. So we've decided that in line with school holidays and also in line with our diaries, that it's probably a good idea if we don't try and create too many problems in actually trying to get a show together. We will have podcasts going on through August, so you won't have to miss us every week. It's just a little bit of a tweak and a little bit of time, because actually we're not going to be in the country, and that's a good thing because we'll come back in September refreshed and hopefully with a whole load of new stories to share. So that's the thinking behind it. So if you wonder why either the podcast doesn't drop on a Friday or we're not here for the next few Wednesdays, that's why. It's not a case of us stopping. It's just a case of us being elsewhere. Anyway, welcome to the show. I thought I'd get that out there because loads of people have seen it on our socials already, and they just thought, oh, there you go. Social media is working in a good way. So how is everyone? I'm going to start with Robin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, John?
It's fine. I made it a Wednesday. That's always a plus point. always a highlight of the week when you know you've got to Wednesday and you've got it out of the way. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Claire's with us as well. Hello, Claire.
I am. I'm here. I haven't done a Wednesday for a little while again because I've been doing other things. So it's great to be here actually.
You're aiming for that bit. You want it to start doing the Wednesdays. And with special guest Claire.
No.
Just so that we highlight the fact that Wednesdays when you are here. Maybe that's part of the thing.
I'm getting like Robin. The Wednesdays when I'm in the country.
I was going to say, Claire, after the most recent podcast, maybe you should take a turn of hosting the Wednesdays.
We're taking a break if you haven't remembered.
I'm going to move us on because Ben and Becca are with us. Hi, guys. Are you both all right?
Yeah, we're good. And I'm prepared for tonight just to get it out of the way. Oh, here's my iPad ready to take into Magic Kingdom to film Starlight.
Make sure you hold it up nice and high.
Yeah, not in front of me.
Above everybody. Yeah, I think we're going to come across quite a few different things like that.
I'll be flicking popcorn at you. That'll be it.
A nice small camera, so you don't need this.
Aye. If you had a nice small camera, I'd be throwing the camera at it. But hey, that's another thing, isn't it? Oh dear. Yes, it's a bit like that feeling of like school's out for summer in a way, isn't it? Yeah, you've got that sort of feeling that anything could,
like Phineas and Ferb.
Anything could happen tonight. This could be one of those shows where we just completely lose the plot altogether. So I'll be warned on that. Also worth mentioning, we've already recorded the 1st of August show, and we've got round to the end of Epcot, so that comes out on the 1st of August. So that is definitely happening, and we only did that 2 nights ago. So actually, there was so much mischief going on that night. It's just going to continue. I've just got a feeling. And in between times, we had a new podcast out yesterday, which was absolutely superb because actually it ended up costing me a lot of money. But
which is quite nice, isn't it? I remember doing that show, John, like when we recorded it. We kept thinking like, is John going to buy tickets? We started off the show as like, John's got the website open. He's looking at Universal's going to Epic. Is it going to happen? And by the end of the show, you just have to go and find out.
Yeah.
How many days you're going to be staying at Universal? Or going to Universal?
If you're staying at Universal, don't spoil the plot completely.
Yeah, and actually,
tune in to find out.
Yeah, listen to the podcast because actually, I did find a cheaper way of doing it rather than buying the 14-day UK ticket, and again, save myself a few quid, which I'll probably end up paying for parking, obviously, because you have to pay for that. But we're going to Epic, and that really is one thing that we've just had such a conundrum about, and then having spoke on the podcast, and actually, it was a no-brainer. It absolutely sold it to me. So I can't wait to come back in September and bore everyone stupid with the fact that I'm never going to Disney again. And I'm a complete Universal head case. Because you guys are all going. Your annual pass holders, Ben and Becca, aren't you, at Universal?
Yeah.
So this is a bit that got me because actually the ticket I bought, because you guys actually you have to book a day.
We booked a single day back in, I think it was last August. Because we've been annual pass holder.
It wouldn't have been August. We didn't have our annual pass in August. It was February.
So we booked it last year.
Ages ago.
Yeah,
Ages
we
ago.
booked it last year, but it was only from the first that Universal released. So they gave annual pass holders a discount on like single day tickets. So we bought 1 day ticket. We could have bought more, but we've just gone for 1 day.
Yeah, because it's what surprised me. Because actually, I got in touch with Universal because actually their point of contact is actually really red hot, and they actually came back to me within a couple of hours. Because when you buy a ticket, either the 14-day one, or in our case, we bought a 4-day ticket. If you want to go to Epic, you don't have to book a day, and that surprised me because I'd got it into my head that you actually had to do that. So you can go anywhere within the window that your ticket falls. So
and the reason why we're going on the day we chosen was because it was the cheapest date in August.
There you go.
There you go. That's it. There you go. Well, saving people money already. Anyway. Should we crack on? Let's do the news, because that's if we can get the news started, we might be finished the news by 10 o'clock. So let's go full Ron Burgundy moment. I should have started it with the fast show, shouldn't I? With Caroline Aherne, only with Scott Show. Unfortunately, in Orlando at the moment, the weather is absolutely atrocious,
isn't it?
If anyone,
I saw a picture of someone staying at the Grand Floridian. It was on TikTok, and I thought they were on a cruise ship.
That's what I was going to say. They'd be swimming. There'd be an ark outside. They'd be repurposing that boat from Magic Kingdom. There you go. And get people.
The only way to get
people from one side of the Grand Flow to the other. There you go. Buy a boat.
Oh, it looks awful, doesn't it?
It does,
non-stop rain. Get out of the way, get it done now, and then by the time we get there, it'll be nice.
And the thing we were saying about weather impacting trips before, but it's always those things when you get rain in the park, it's like for us we just stay in the park. That rain, that torrential, what are you gonna do apart from stay where you are?
Yeah.
Well, you just get on with it and accept you're going to be drenched and dance in the puddles. That's what we've done it both ways, where we've gone, no, let's go and try and get somewhere dry. And then other days when you tried to get somewhere dry and actually there's just no point because it doesn't matter where you can't stay. It's not like Disneyland Paris. There isn't a covered route all the way to the front.
No.
So you're going to get wet. And then when you've got that wet, you're like, forget it. Might as well just stay and be soaked.
We got always caught on the way up for the Magic.
Jacket then though. The freezing.
Going in the aircon. It's
Or when you get back in the car afterwards and you actually turn the aircon off to try and warm up.
Or you try the condensation on the inside of the windows is horrendous.
Yeah, but No, our hearts go out. Anyone who's there on holiday at the moment, if you're listening, our hearts go out to you because actually it is some of the worst.
Usual.
It's the worst weather I think I've seen there for a long time, and I can just only hope that it disappears for August because there'll be an awful lot of unhappy wafflers by the time that comes along. But hey ho.
Yeah.
Anyway, we move on. Disney news. And I'm going to pick on something that came up on the start of the month podcast because I think Simon mentioned about the American Gardens Theatre, and we were speaking about the fact that for quite a long time within from after until Food and Wine, it remains empty and unused, and it's not. They've decided that at the moment they've put the Command performance in there, and they'll play until who are the British band. They're going to play until July the 26th. But then, in a cracking move, they've actually got the Miniature Cobra band playing there.
Ah, cool.
Okay. That's interesting. It's a good use of space.
Yeah. And it's covered and you can have a little seat while you listen, which is always good.
And it keeps them out of that full sun as well.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's maybe part of it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Very possibly.
There you go. So that was one thing. I got just handily being phoned by my son at this time. So that's never a good thing.
Does he not know you're live on a Wednesday?
He's
He
just,
knows,
remembered,
he's doing it on purpose.
he's just remembered. I've just texted him back. But actually, they were also must have been listening to a Wednesday show that we did a while back where we were criticising the food offering with him be our guest as well.
Mm.
So Disney have changed the menu there. They've tweaked it a little bit. And
Does
so
think Disney are listening to us?
Is it still crazy money though?
I didn't look at the price. Robin. I was more impressed. I was more impressed the fact that they decided to change it because they'd heard some British people complaining.
That'd be unusual.
I know. First time for everything. But have a look online. I'll be interested to see what people's viewpoints will be about it because I think for a while we've said that it's gone downhill and they need something to just raise the whole bit of it.
Yeah.
In Magic
It's just
Kingdom.
something about live entertainment in Epcot, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
And food is one of those things when you look at. I saw someone put on Instagram earlier talking about BR guests, going like, shouldn't they just bring back breakfast as well?
I saw
There's a
something
lot of
about that
things-
online today, actually. There's a number
yeah.
of surveys, people going, just bring back breakfast.
Yeah.
As a quick service, we'll all be happy.
I also think bring back the lunch because let's be honest,
Yeah.
that
Quick
sounded
service.
that was always good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was always better than any of the other meals.
And it was the point where you spent ages trying to get a reservation for it. And now it's the point everyone's looking at it and I'm not spending that.
They're hooking people off the walkway and saying, do you want to come in and eat? Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking about food, what I was really surprised at yesterday, there was pictures that arose of there's a snack kiosk going in Toy Story Land,
Oh.
Yes.
which just a little bit further on from where the toilet on the way as if you're walking into Galaxy's Edge.
Mhm.
I just thought, hang on a minute. When they were redoing the whole of the top, was it the toy box and all this and the eating place? Could they not have done that at the same time? Actually, that would
It's
have
weird,
worked.
isn't it? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Maybe it's
whinging. I'm
people
whinging.
that-
I'm whinging already,
Yeah.
aren't I? You can see what kind of day I've had today, can't you?
I've got something positive. I've got something positive
Oh,
to talk
go on,
about from
Ben.
the studios. So, if anyone remembers D23's gone by, there's been like lots of roaming droids that they've demoed. They're now going to be in Walt Disney World for a limited time. So in Galaxy's Edge, you'll have droids being able to roam the land.
Ooh.
That
So
sounds
that'd be
good.
quite interesting.
How limited is limited
Well,
time?
it says limited time, so originally
See
they
how
were
it
back in
works, and then we're not committing
Well,
to any time
They've
frame.
had them in Disneyland, I think, for a little while as well.
They look very small. I'm worried I'm going to trip over one of them.
Let's have a look. I can't see any actual.
Come up to my knee.
Yeah, they are really small droids, but they haven't set a date that it's going to happen. But they were originally revealed back in 2017, so
So it only took them a
Oh,
decade.
only 6 years.
The actual roaming characters within Galaxy's Edge, even from last year, worked really well.
Yeah.
And they kind of moved on from people very quickly, so that you didn't have people taking up too long a time, and they moved it on. So I hope that'll be the same as well.
Yeah.
Now,
and actually following on from last week's news, where we mentioned about the cameras being upgraded for a photo pass, they've actually confirmed it, and they have rolled them out in both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. That all the photo pass photographers have got the upgraded cameras.
Amazing!
So better quality photos.
Does that mean
excited for that?
Does that mean that the photographers in the other parks are going to be complaining? We've still got the old cameras.
We're going to get slightly blurry photos in Magic Kingdom.
Well, that's the nice
Who doesn't love a blurry photo?
So I'm going to keep the best till last, because I want your opinion on this, because this left us
speechless.
Yeah, I think that's the only way I can describe it. And I must admit, I listened to Lou Mongello talking about this yesterday morning, having seen Disney Twitter just nigh on implode with complaints. And Lou's line was basically, you need to see it for yourself. You need to take into account it's the first day and things like that. But the more I watch of that Walt animatronic, I actually can't buy into what Lou was trying to say to you, that you have to see it in real life. I think it's just it looks and sounds shocking.
I have seen multiple different views and videos of it, and lots of different opinions, and the general consensus seems to be something you need to see it there, and then see it through video, through YouTube, and you're never going to get the exact thought. But what's positive about it is Disneyland's never had like one man's dream. So they have the one man's dream video played before it, and it's integrated well with this segment of the animatronic. And I think the animatronic is incredible. The way it moves, the way it sits, the way it stands, the way that it's leaning on the desk. And I think it's incredible. Just the face needs work. But maybe this is the first iteration of an animatronic of this type. It is really advanced, and just listening to it, we watched it last night, and we just said, let's close your eyes and listen to it. And actually,
the voice is a genuine.
It is actually his voice. It's not.
It is actually him. So it will sound like it.
And it's how they've pieced it together as well, because it's not all from one exact.
No, I think I've watched a number of different videos and opinions of it. Actually, I know he's been on our show before, Jack from DSNY Newscast. He did a really great video about it, and he said he'd watched it twice, once at the back of the theatre and once at the front of the theatre, and his view was you needed to be close up. But he did talk about the fact that everyone's talking about the face and the fact it's a caricature almost. But he said this is an animatronic that is a live action animatronic, whereas if it was a film, obviously the facial expressions wouldn't be as enormous, the eyebrows wouldn't move so much, because actually if you've got a camera here you don't need to do all of that. This is meant to be Walt talking in a live theatre, and therefore the movement, the action, the expression has been magnified so that the people at the back of the room can see it, just as you would if you were on a stage. You act to the back of the theatre, you don't act to the front row. And that's what he likened it to. And actually, when I watched it again after he said that, I was like, okay, I can see that. I think it is probably one of those things that you might see in person. I think the way it moves is incredible when he leans back on the desk. And it's just like, that looks real. And if this is version 1, I cannot wait to see what the future versions look like.
Yeah. And actually, if you compare it to some of the older pictures of Walt when he was a little bit younger, it's almost like they blended some of the pictures of when he was younger with the pictures of when he was older.
I think we all have a very romanticised view of what he looked like, and that, Uncle Walt bit in black and white where he stood in front of the picture of Epcot is the view that everyone remembers, and that may not be accurate.
I think you're right. I do. I think he looks younger than how most of us see him, because most of the photos and videos we've seen are of him in his later life. So I think that is it. He looks a bit younger, and I think it's thrown a lot of people off. But I'll let you know my views when I've seen it in person.
Yeah,
please do. In September.
But I also I also think, going back to your point, that the pictures that we're used to seeing of him are in black and white. We're not used to seeing him in colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot better than it could have been.
And the amount of footage that Disney have in the archive that they've been able to base this off and use, I think there are probably some things that we haven't seen of Walt, some clips and certain things that aren't what we would normally see. And I think we will get a version in Hollywood Studios as one-man stream.
Yeah.
Eventually, I really do. I could see them changing that at some point. Not changing one-man stream, but this being
adding it.
Instead of having a character meet and greet they usually have in there, have Walt.
Yeah, I know that there was a Jack had said on his report, wouldn't it be great if on the anniversary they actually had another version of this, which was the dedication speech, and having a whole different program of Walt doing the dedication speech that day. That would be incredible. Maybe one for the future, but now they've got an animatronic they can work on and they can progress and they can grow. This is stab number one. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it does him an injustice. I think it's amazing that they've even been brave enough to attempt it, to be honest with you, because it could have been so awful and it's not.
Do you know, I like that positivity, and I think that really underlines exactly what we're about. And I'm going to keep that in mind. No, because I think it's dead easy to criticize, isn't it? As with anything, it's so easy to criticize. But I like what Jack's talking about, and I think that's a really good way of looking at it.
We can link his video in the Waffle's Arms if anyone wants to go and watch it.
Yeah.
He's a friend of the show.
Yeah, the one other thing I'd heard was actually if they actually incorporate, one of them drop-down microphones. So it actually made it look as if Walt was talking into a microphone, and therefore addressing the theatre. Yeah,
that would have been good.
It would actually make people's perception of what they are looking at would be a little bit more real as to what the intention is. So everyone's got an opinion. It's good. Last bit of news: Universal. So after booking tickets, right? Universal have very handily extended the opening hours of Epic until August the 17th. So that falls exactly.
Oh, that's the day of going.
Exactly in my little window as well. Until 10 p.m.
I was going to say.
So we're going on the 17th. Yay!
I wouldn't worry, Ben. I reckon they will.
I reckon it's a week by week.
I think so too. I think it'd be worth if you're going in August and you're going to Epic, then just keep an eye on Universal's opening hours, because that was quite a
might
big
end
thing.
up updated.
Yeah, I think so.
And also, if you are going, I think the Friday the 15th, they've got the pass holder nights. So if you're planning to go to Universal Studios that day, that's closing at 7, not its usual time.
Oh, I was.
There you go.
Exactly that night.
Look, you're taking Claire from right.
Is that Universal and Islands of Adventure?
No,
it's just Universal.
Right, I'm going to swap over the days. We'll go to Islands on the Friday and Universal on the Sunday. Thank you for mentioning that, because I actually haven't seen that. So that would have ruined my tickets.
We've got tickets on the Friday and the Saturday. They do the pass holder nights at Universal.
So you'll both be there at the same. Well, you'll all be there at the same time, just in different parks.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Claire in Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, where you've got your express passes, but we're standing in the standby queue. We'll wave you as you're going past.
I'll wave you, but it won't be one of them.
No.
It'll be a friendly wave. I was just going to mention also today the tickets, as Sean reminded me about 2 hours ago. The tickets for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party go on sale today for resort guests.
And this is the Jollywood Nights as well.
I don't know if they go on sale today, but certainly the Christmas party tickets do. Because I took a sharp intake of breath when I looked up how much it was going to cost me to go.
Oh, yeah.
$199 plus tax.
Yeah. Jollywood Nights also did start staying from $159 per person.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Far more than I would pay for. I mean, thankfully the dollar's not doing so great at the moment, but it's still a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, yeah.
Compared to the Halloween party. which is currently under £90 the night.
Christmas has just got really. I remember we spent $89 before COVID on the Christmas party, and we could do like Christmas and Halloween for less than $100 each.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, I think we went back in November 21 when they had that and they did a Christmas event, and it was like $200, and we gone like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't care. We love Christmas, but not that much.
I've never done it, so I really want to go, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, I brought the tone down a bit there.
No. That was just a reaction to when you weren't going to Universal on that. Honestly, that was it. But it leads us perfectly into what we're going to talk about. And it's that whole thing about what do you do to be a good guest. So before we start whinging, let's try and keep it positive, and we'll go round.
Also, that sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
I say, who's doing the hoovering? Is that Simon? Is he cleaning?
No, he's pumping up the hot tub. I'll just put myself on mute for a minute.
At least it's not like a foot pump or like a bicycle pump or something. That's so funny.
Or it's not squeaking. Oh, brilliant. Right, Claire, go on, tell us how should people be a good guest?
Do you know what? I think this is such a great topic to talk about, because and obviously I've had a conversation with Morg about this as well, having been there, done his time as a cast member, and I think anyone who knows anyone who's worked at Walt Disney World will probably have had this conversation. I think the most important thing for me in how to be a good guest is be nice to the cast members. Is my number one thing. Yeah. There is absolutely zero room in my mind for anyone to be other than pleasant, courteous, grateful. Stop being rude to cast members when they ask you to do something. Like I've seen when people are standing on the walls to watch the parade and they ask them to get off, and guests are swearing at them. You know, they're cursing back at cast members who are asking them to get down off the wall for their own safety. They're not doing it.
They're also told to say that. They didn't decide themselves to tell them to get down. No. That's their job. Their job.
Yeah.
Someone else has made the rules. They're just there to enforce the rules.
Yeah. Their number one goal is to keep guests safe. And if they're asking you to do something, they're asking you to do it for a reason. And I just find it so unacceptable when I see guests being rude to cast members. And it doesn't matter whether they're the best cast member in the world or they're not. It doesn't matter. Just be polite.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to go off on a rant.
It's one of those where we went to see Happily Ever After, and it's like we've come from like Tomorrowland and going head towards the hub, and it's like, okay, where are we going to stand? You go to a cast member who's literally shouting at people, move and keep this clear.
That walkway
and it's just like people just don't. I'll just stand here then, and people don't do. They just ignore what cast members are telling them to do.
They think it doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
And most cast members, especially around fireworks, will tell you a good place to stand so you can get a good view.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, I went off on a rant.
No, totally agree with you.
It's actually a good place to start, because actually I think it's a really important one. It doesn't matter if it's the start of the day or the end of the day. They're actually doing it because actually that's the way they want to organise their park. It's not yours. Yes, you've bought a ticket, but don't be so self-entitled to try and tell people how they should be doing their job. I like that thought there, Claire. It kind of goes with the one I've got written down as my one. I might as well go with this. Is the fact that people lack self-awareness.
That's just everyone in life, though. It's not. That's not you.
It's not specifically Disney, is it?
No, but it's that whole thing, isn't it?
It's like magnified in there, though, doesn't
it? Because there's a lot of people in a small space. You seem to come across more of it, but really, it's just that everyone's there together, so you got more chance of seeing it.
Yeah, but it's that whole syndrome of like. And if we've got people who are retired listening to the show, this isn't having a pop at you personally. It's just a pop at all those people who go to Tesco, Morrison's, Asda. Of a weekend, when you've been sat at home all week, right? And you can go at any point, but you go at the busiest time of the week, and then you put your trolley across the aisle right? Because you're just not aware of what's going on around you. And this happens in the theme parks. It happens with people with strollers, ECVs. It happens with people who are on the phone and they just for some bizarre reason as a group, they just stop.
Yeah.
And they're not aware that there's massive people coming behind them. And they've stopped and they're the first ones to look at you as if you're the one being rude, as you're actually nigh on bailing into them.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I can't bear it.
It's a theme park. Come on.
Oh, John, it is one of my massive bugbears of people who have zero personal space awareness.
Yeah.
And just like
comment.
thing is that I don't think he's joking. There is people who either walk into or they bump it. Like, yes, it's busy. When it's busy, like if you're watching fireworks, and that's one of the reasons I don't like it because there's too many people close to me. But Colton's just picked up another really thank you, Colton. Just this lack of awareness that there are other people in the park. You know, have a look around you. You are surrounded by 100,000 other people all trying to do something. Just if you're going to stop and you want to look at your phone or you want to look at a map or you want to have a conversation, just move to the side. It's fine. You might even get in the shade. You know, just move off to the side. Don't just stop where you are and allow everyone to walk into the back of you. And if you're walking slowly, well, you deserve it.
Yeah. Can I just pick up on what B said in the chat as well? Because actually, I think this is also another important part. Because from a different point of view, is when people are in an ECV, and like you say, they just put the anchors. People in front put the anchors on, and if you're in an ECV, you're basically having a sharp break. It's like emergency stop time. Because people are just not thinking that, you know, actually someone behind you isn't always going to stop. You know, it's not good.
It's not as easy as just kind of walking round because an ECV takes up more space. You have to be more aware of other people. You can't just, I'll just scoot round them. It's much more difficult.
Yeah.
The turning circle isn't great, is it?
Yeah. And especially if it's the first time you're renting an ECV. And it's that learning curve, and it's just something you're going to have to think about, that actually planning your day a little bit, that you don't have to rush everywhere in Disney.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, how many times we've said on the show, that you need to just take that step back, assess what you're doing, and then just enjoy it. Yeah. It's so... to
the side, though, if you're going to go really
to the
slow.
Side.
Like the fast lane at the swimming pool where people are doing lengths, and then the ladies,
and then the people
like this swimming with their hair out of water.
Yeah, and the makeup done.
You've seen me at the pool, then?
I have.
Ben and Becca, what about you guys? Let's try. What
lighten the mood?
Yeah, let's go with let's go with yours.
I like it, and it makes me laugh as well. And I think this is just a preparation thing for me. It's about knowing what restaurants you go to, what quick service you can mobile order, because you see these long queues for some of these places, and then you just go, and then we just walk in with our phone going like, "Oh, pick it up," and then they're all staring at you as you walk off with your food. And they go, "Well, they didn't order. How have they got their food?" Do
you deliberately? I hope you do. Walk in like you own the entire place, collect your food and walk out. Because I do.
It's like, we get all this mobile order, we know where we're going, pick it up, everyone looks at you and you just...
Excuse me, can you just let me through, please? Yeah. Oh, that's my food waiting for. Fantastic, thank you very much. There's nothing better.
We had a lovely experience of exactly that last year. And I've never really been one for mobile ordering. I quite enjoy queuing up, mainly because it gives me enough time to realise what I want to order. But the queue was really long into Tuli Canteen. I'm thinking, no, I'm not queuing for that. Mobile order, and it says, there's only like a 3-minute wait, and it's just like, come on, let's go with that. So banged it in, and this queue wasn't moving because obviously the kitchen was probably getting through all the mobile orders, and there was a swagger of the whole family. Right. I was ready to just go.
So music playing in the background as you're walking in.
For the train, here we go. That's all. Thank you very much. Yeah. and then you get out, and then you find your nice little table, and then you start the timer on your phone from the guy that was might have been just in front of you in the queue. So we're timing till this guy comes out, and then as he comes through with his tray, we're finished, and he's glaring at us. It's just like, it's that whole thing of, yep, there you go, we're one up on the day, and you're just like, there we go, flight of passage, here we go again.
I love Sean's comment. People take forever to order at Cosmic Rays. Do you want chicken tenders or the burger? It's not that hard.
It's like being on the airplane. Do you want chicken or beef? That's the option.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Heather's really made me giggle, because like my sort of level of when I'm being ridiculous is when Heather goes, and the fact that Heather's going, sauntering and laughing is
that is exactly it.
It's the same feeling you get when you used to get the 3 free fast passes, and you just like, you see the queue is long, you just go like, perfect. Walk in there and on the ride, and they're still queuing.
I'm going to say, Ben, it's the same feeling you get when you go to the first class check-in at the airport.
Oh,
yeah, upper class.
Low blow. That's it.
That is a very sad. It's the same feeling you get.
It's when you turn left when you get on the plane.
Yeah, mobile ordering costs significantly less.
Yeah,
so it's a cheaper thrill.
Yeah.
and one thing I found useful about mobile order, and this goes for Disneyland as well, is that you can get your discount added, especially in Disneyland, that it comes on the mobile order price.
Yeah.
So you can see, actually, you get DVC discount or annual passport discount on quick service. Yeah. So it's quite good to see. Yeah. Sometimes if you're not sure about whether asking, do you get discount here? Because sometimes after a time it feels a bit awkward if you wait in a long queue. Or do I need to waste this cost member time for another $1 off? Where if I'm on the app, I can see whether it's taken off or not.
You can also get some secret items if you mobile order as well that are not on the regular menu. So it's always worth going. And do you know what I like about it is I can be in a queue for a ride and think, we're going to get food after this. He's just ripped both my headphones out. Okay. We're going to get food after this ride. Let's decide where we're going and what we're going to eat and order it now. And then we're on the way.
You're preventing that queue afterwards when everyone just gets right, I'm hungry, but everyone stops at the exit.
Yes.
And if the queue takes longer, you can modify the time as well.
Yeah, you can.
Brilliant. Go on, Becca. What's yours?
Yeah. So I'm going to continue down the food thing, and I don't know whether this annoys everybody else or not. It's people that sit at those really busy quick service restaurants at a table without any food.
Table blockers.
Table blockers.
Is that while they're waiting for food, or they've eaten and they're just enjoying the aircon?
I think sometimes we've seen
so you don't know. The problem is you're standing there with a tray full of food that's getting cold, and there's nowhere to sit because there's one guy sitting on a table for 4 people,
and that's it. Or one parent with all the bags and all the stuff on a table for 8. Yeah.
Either that or the worst example.
Where's the rest of them?
Yeah.
I think Connections is probably one of the most frustrating places for that. Not that because you can't sit down until you've got food.
No.
And then people hang around.
Depends when you go. Sometimes you can sit down even without food.
Yeah. Oh, those cast members are like the Gestapo.
Aren't they?
They're not always there.
No food, no table. No food, no table.
It is literally like
good on
that.
them.
Yeah.
Good on
but
them.
Yes and no, though, because if you're a single parent and you've got a child in a stroller and a tray of food, actually that becomes really difficult and nobody offers to help. I always say, if I see someone struggling, I'm like, would you like a hand to your table? Because I'm that person. But
But at the same time, if you're a single parent with a child in a stroller, are you really going to leave your child on their own at the table?
No, but you could.
Can't get food. You can't leave the stroller either because that might get moved or stolen.
Oh, who knows?
I think that it's more when you've been sitting there, you've been there a while, you've had your food, but then you've looked to see who's around you, and you've gone like, they were here before we even got here. And then it's like, wait, and then you realise they're on their laptop working.
It's deleting.
I think it's a bigger problem
somewhere. There's a rule that you have to buy a drink at least once an hour.
I think it's it comes down to a bigger problem though, in that Disney World has a lack of seats. and I do think there is an issue with it. There's a lack of seats because Disney got rid of all the benches, because if you're wanting to sit down, you have to pay and then buy a drink or buy some food or something. So I do feel a little bit sad, because I can see the point that sometimes people I just want to sit for an hour in the air conditioning and stare at my phone. I'm not saying I've ever done that when it's not busy, but you know, sometimes you want that and there isn't anywhere to sit. So I think I kind of see, but you'll never see me sat at a table with no food when there's no tables, there's someone with food. Even if I invite them to join me, I'm like, would you like to sit down?
When you apply for DAS and you don't get it, you're given a list of places you can go and rest. The majority of those are food places.
Really?
They're encouraging to buy food while you rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite an interesting way of. So they don't have dedicated rest spaces, but they're recommending you go to places
selling.
That's useful to know.
Yeah.
Robin.
Trying to put maybe a slightly how to be a good guest rather than this is my pet peeve on Disney. Children are obviously shorter than adults, and when it comes to seeing shows like the fireworks, it's really difficult for them to be able to see, and I totally get that. And kids need to be picked up to be able to see, and I think that's totally okay. I would really love to see guests hold kids on their hips at the same height as them, because it can be someone who's not particularly tall and who is often in an ECV, so I'm also short. Have someone come along, I've got a spot I can see, I'm so happy, and the child on the shoulders right in front of me, and I'm like, well, I see nothing now.
Thanks very much for that. Yeah.
And I think it's easier for the parent to have a kid on your shoulders, easier for your back, easier for the carrying, than hold them at your own height. And I do appreciate after a long day in Disney, you're probably knackered. But please think of us short people and the other kids who parents maybe are not able to pick them up. Hold them to your own height, because then everyone can see and you're not going to block anyone behind you.
Yeah.
So that's how to be a good guest at the fireworks. Hold your children up at your own height, not above you.
I think
same goes for mobile phones and iPads. You want to record that? Brilliant. Yeah. Hold it here. Don't hold it up here.
I've recorded with my phone, and it's like there.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, as soon as the intro music starts, there's like you can't see it. So normally I just put my phone away, because there's a kid in front, there's someone else with an iPad, and I just don't get, why would you use an iPad to record? The camera quality is terrible.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I really don't.
I think as well, I'm going to put a little bit of a different spin on this, Robin, as well, because actually, in the good old days of people actually being polite and actually being mindful of young kids, you know, we've had many an experience where we've turned up for usually nighttime parade, or not so much fireworks, but certainly nighttime parades and the afternoon parade, where people actually encourage young children when they're small and they're not going to, you know, the only way that they would actually be able to see is either if you put them on a bin or you put them on your shoulders. But people who actually allow other people's kids to go and sit on the curbside to watch the parade go by. And it's such a lovely thing, because you by allowing that to happen, you've instantly got a bond with that family, no matter where in the world they come from. And you then end up chatting in the wait time before the parade. And then your kids aren't being sort of tetchy because they can't see anything.
Yeah,
their kids have got new friends from a new country, and it is that whole thing that Disney's all about. It's not about just you. It's about that experience of sharing your delight of a magical place, but actually sharing it while you're in the park with other people from different cultures, and that's been lost. And I feel so desperate about this, because people are so insular. And ensuring that they get the full value for money from their Disney ticket doesn't matter if people behind you don't see. That's their problem. They should have rocked up 5 minutes before us.
I'm going to choose to believe that people don't really think that. They just, again, it comes back to that the awareness and the thought. They just haven't thought about the people behind. They've just thought,
I would disagree with that.
John's
seen me do it. We've been together watching a parade where I've moved and we were together, stood, and we were just like, no, get the kids in the front, because actually I'm very short, but I can still see over the top of a 5-year-old. You know, I can almost see over the top of a 10-year-old if they're not very tall. But you know, there is, and I've actually seen families where, you know, they've had these kids and they're like, oh, they can't get to the front, and I'll move out the way, and the person next to me has gone, no, I've been here longer, I'm going to stand here. Well, do you know what? You're a fully grown adult who is perfectly capable of seeing over the top of these small people. Please just move and let them in. So I will absolutely, and I encourage my kids to do it. So I get Millie to move. So if there's a very small, I'll get them. There is no reason not to do it. Yes, don't bring all the 20 family with you.
I was going to say,
that's a whole other issue.
Because we've had it where we've been there early for I think the Christmas parade. We got a good spot. We were there a good half an hour, 40 minutes early. This family, literally, as the parade was coming around the corner, they didn't have children with them. They were just 2 fully grown adults, just wanted just trying to push past and just stand right in front of us.
That's where having sharp elbows works.
Absolutely. And if you spread out, if you find some friends and spread out, it becomes very difficult to get by. Absolutely. Kids go in the front, and if one parent wants to come and stand right up next to them, fine. If not, you can see them, they're fine. I'm going to tell you if they're going to run out in front of a float, or I'm going to grab them and send them back to you. Just, you know, a little bit of community spirit, I think it is. It's about looking out for each other and making the most of the experience for everyone. And actually, do you know what? For my kids, if I say to them, that wasn't that great, you moved so that small child could watch the parade, they both recognise that as a nice thing to do. So I don't know why adults don't get it sometimes, and they're so... I don't know if they're ignorant or just self-centered sometimes. It's really disappointing when it happens, and I've seen it happen where they just refuse to move. You just think that's unnecessary, but you can't argue with it because we paid the same money as anybody else. Yeah, you have. So
sad thing is we've met some incredible people over the years.
We've had great conversations with people waiting for parades,
and some really memorable people. And if you aren't open to that and you just completely shut off, you know, you're missing the whole point of what the parks are about. You know, even last year we had a bit where we were in Epcot and we were there for fireworks. I think it was our very first time of watching the new fireworks show at Epcot, and this family were behind us, and they had a child in a buggy, and I was like, well, I'm not going to let you all through. I said, but why? I said, just put the buggy there, and then my kids can stand behind the buggy, and then your child will be able to see. And by the time the fireworks started, the child was asleep.
Right,
and slept all the way through. However, it wasn't the point. They actually had that distraction, and it was lovely. But it's having the foresight and the actual inner ability to actually still have that bit of Disney magic within your heart to actually allow that sort of thing to happen. And it could be anywhere else. And I think this is where probably the conversation extends, because, you know, I think for many of us, we've been in queue lines where people have been further up the queue and people have been behind or whatever. Don't push your way through. You're only going to annoy people. So that's another bit of advice. Don't expect to be let through and say, oh, I'm looking for Bob, he was just
at the front.
He's at the front, yeah. No chance. Join the queue, mate.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm trying not to have a whinge.
I'm
trying to keep it positive.
I'm going to do a positive one, which is to utilise the opportunity to give cast compliments. So in the app, if you go to the 3 little dashes and then scroll to the very bottom, you can leave a cast compliment for any cast member. And it really makes a difference to their day, and it makes a difference to their week. And they get all of them, they get them printed out, and they keep them. It's really a really valuable thing to them. So if someone has done something that either, you know, I've done it for custodials when you go into the loos, like waiting for a parade, and you go into the toilets and they're sparkling clean, and you think, wow, do you know what? You're working really hard to keep these clean. I will do a cast compliment for custodial. We've done it for all sorts of different cast members in different places, whether that be a server in a restaurant, a skipper on the Jungle Cruise, whatever it is. And actually, I don't think a lot of guests remember or even know that that's an option. And if you can, do it. We probably, when we're there, we probably do 4 or 5 a day, just because it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I usually only do. I wouldn't say I do 4 or 5 a day. I'm lucky if I do 1 a day. You know, I need to up my game, I think. But yeah, you're right, because there's so many cast members that are lovely, and that's how they get
moments
recognised.
you don't forget the name of the cast member, because that's always especially like we've had some incredible skippers on the Jungle Cruise, and it's like they just go above and beyond, and you think actually that's something that and by the time it gets into the day, we're like, what was their name?
And
so
I think you can go and ask afterwards, and sometimes because it asks for their name and their hometown. If you're going to look for their hometown, you've got to get quite close to their chest, and that can be a bit awkward. So unless they're coming up close to you, then I never remember to ask for it. But you just put the location and the date, and if you can remember roughly what their name was, they'll get to them. They have the roster.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What about? Oh, go on. If you've got one, go. Sorry.
I was just no. I'm aware. I always talk too much, Claire. So it's quite nice when you keep me quiet for a couple of minutes. Keep me quiet for a couple of minutes on the Wednesday. It's great. I was going to suggest is, and this actually, it doesn't matter if you're on your own or if your family is 10, but in a way of actually being a good guest is actually by being good to yourself and actually planning your day so that your kids don't have a complete meltdown about 4 or 5 o'clock, but you're staying for fireworks regardless of what. Or you're in a park and you're wearing the wrong thing, and it's very obvious that you're wearing either the wrong shoes or the wrong clothing. You know, you're
not comfy.
Yeah, doing the Universal wet rides and wearing white shorts isn't on my list of recommendations.
You sound like you speak from experience, John.
Not me.
I can't wait for John to get on Popeye and Pluto at Universal.
Neither can I. I love it. I love it. Actually, it's one of them things that anytime we go to Universal, if we're in the car, we will always put a towel and spare clothing. Because it doesn't matter how many $5 you chuck into those
haystack dryers. It's not working.
It's not drying that bit in between your legs. It's going to rub and just cause you pain the rest of the day.
Chafing is not a good feeling when you're at Universal.
It's all right. The August heat will be dry in half an hour.
Don't believe the hype. It doesn't work like that.
The only tip I'm going to give is just don't go to the cinema afterwards.
Yeah.
Especially when the cinema at Universal has leather seats.
Yeah.
Did you leave a layer of skin behind?
It was very cold that day.
Oh dear. Shrinkage. That's it. Since we're after 9 o'clock and we're breaking up for the summer, so we can
I'm being naughty.
I must admit, though, the wrong shoes. You've got don't turn up for an Orlando holiday and expect to break in either a new pair of trainers or anything like that.
Oh, don't do it.
It ends in tears.
Take your old trainers that are comfy, leave them, buy new ones, and leave them there.
Yeah. When it feels like the smell is just permeating the room.
Or if they've melted into the pavement.
Yeah.
Or that too.
A pair of Morgan's Primark trainers last summer did actually melt on the pavement. He sent me a photo of the rubbers like falling apart.
Quality.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, what other things? What about when you're on the monorail and etiquette on transport in general, actually. And I know that Bea earlier on said something about the looks that they get when the ECVs get on the bus first.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that should. I know that buses can take up to 6 ECVs. I think is it
3.
It's only 3.
They can do
And that's
more
only
now.
some buses. The other ones
Fine.
can only take 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know the worst it's going to take is 4 minutes, really, because they move them quite quickly, don't they? Let's face it. It doesn't take a long time. It's just it feels forever when it's going beep beep beep, and the
it's the end of
thing's
the night.
coming down. It's like you just like get me home. But it feels like a long time. But actually,
When
you
your
know
feet
what?
hurt at the end of the day, it feels like a long time.
They've got to be strapped in. They've got to be secure. So just
And you don't want them getting on last because that's dangerous.
they're going to drive over your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
And
imagine if they would last? Everyone's got to like try and move out the way.
Yeah.
it's not happening. But there is, and those buses can take a lot of people. I don't think, and that's the thing. You know,
They can.
move up, move all the way in. You can stand on the step at the back. It's absolutely fine. You can use every seat. Don't man spread, please. Just saying, because that
Put your children on your lap.
Yeah.
I've got a small child. Put them on
And
your
if you're on
lap.
the monorail,
I love being the last ones on the bus
yeah.
because then you get a little bit of space right at the front.
Yes.
If
That
you're
is a
on the
good one.
monorail and somebody gets in and they're perhaps older or pregnant or just look like they had a really rotten day,
Yeah.
and you're sitting down, offer them a seat.
Yeah.
Stand up if you can. You know, it's it really annoys me when you see that, you know, the pregnant lady who's like 7 months pregnant and she looks like she's about to expire.
Yeah.
And you're like, just get up, let her have a seat.
Can I add to that as well, Claire? Because actually, I think transportation, because you actually are grouped in a really small area. I know it's expensive in America, so plan ahead. Take deodorant away on holiday with you, because there is
Target sells some really good stuff very cheaply.
there is nothing worse than being, and then someone reaches up for the bar. I'm wearing the right colour t-shirt, a grey t-shirt, so you get that whole bit happening, don't you? And it's just like, and if the smell's there within that small place, please don't be upset when I throw up on your shoes. That's the only thing I would say.
On your new trainers.
It absolutely turns my stomach. And it's just like, so one of my pet hates in life, and it can be stopped. It's possible to do something about it.
It's weird, isn't it? I think it must have been the way I was brought up, but every time I get off a Disney bus, I always say thank you to the driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a really British. It's a really
I
British
do that.
thing.
I do it in the UK.
No, so do I. I do it everywhere. Whether it's like the bus from the airport long stay parking to the airport terminal, or whether it's the bus from Disney Springs to Coronado Springs, I was like, thank you. As I get
Me
on.
too.
And make sure you kind of catch the eye in
like,
the
walk to the
middle.
front to get off,
Like,
so you can say thank you.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
That
I've
makes
had a lot of funny looks.
you makes you a perfect guest.
And my kids will do it too. It's like,
I think talking about transport, I think the thing that, especially if it's your first time using Disney transport, how long it takes to get from one side of the property to the other. If you've booked a dining reservation and you don't know what time you've got to get there, and then sometimes you've got to be dependent on Disney transportation, add the extra half an hour, try and work out what.
We've been caught by that. Staying
Get there earlier.
Yeah.
You can always explore the hotel.
Yeah.
Or if you're running late, don't think, oh, well, it's fine, we'll just be late. Disney property, you're never that far away. There's usually an Uber or a Lyft you can pick up for less than $10.
Yeah. If you've left it too late to get Disney transport.
Exactly.
If you've been sitting at Saratoga Springs and you've not seen any buses for like half an hour, just get an Uber.
Just get an Uber.
We've done that.
I think the longest journey,
the
longest journey we had was going from Old Key West to might have been Citricos for dinner.
Yeah.
And we obviously had to get the bus to Magic Kingdom and then get the monorail around and I think the total journey time was almost an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time we got on the bus, it had gone all the way around the houses, and then we got on the monorail. And it took forever, and we just didn't. And it was one of the first times we'd stayed on property, and it was like I had no concept this was going to take quite so long. So now it's like just go ahead early, have a drink in the bar beforehand, have a mooch around the hotel, whatever it is. It's
which is always nice to do, isn't it?
So, you know, who doesn't like a look around the boutique-y?
Exactly.
got an early morning dining reservation as well, make sure you know what time the transportation starts.
What time you can walk round to the
so you can
hotel?
actually get on the monorail.
Because you didn't think going from the Polynesian to the Contemporary would take as long as it did.
Ben and Becca.
Well, yeah.
I think we hit 12,000 steps before we'd even sat down for breakfast.
dear.
Oh, what was that situation where the buses are if you're having dinner at a hotel and then the buses that if you were say you were having dinner at the Contemporary, naming no names, Lloyd, and you were going to get the bus back to the resort, but you stayed in the bar drinking so long that the buses from Magic Kingdom had finished.
So I know the answer to this because I found out the hard way. No.
They did for Lloyd.
Not usually. Their answer is get a bus to Disney Springs and then get on your resort bus from there.
Wow.
And I was going from the Contemporary to the Grand Floridian, and that was their answer. This is before the walkway was open.
Yeah.
Wow.
But their answer was get a bus to Disney Springs and then get a bus to the Grand Floridian.
Maybe it's because Lloyd was quite drunk, but they actually
I'm wondering
got him a bus.
The Disney Springs
That's amazing.
closed.
Yeah, I think it was like 2-3 in the morning.
Oh, okay. So maybe if Disney Springs is closed, then they'll do that.
Yeah.
They actually brought a bus to the Contemporary to take him and Emma to the hotel.
That's very nice.
They wouldn't leave you stranded. What they won't do is leave you stranded. They will find you a way.
If there's a way, or there's
even if it's like we've called you an Uber, they will find you a way.
And I have to admit, how many times that we've been done like after hours events, or and you get out of the park and it's like you realise that you're the last ones there, and there's no like one bus, and you get it and then you go, where are you going? And they'll literally take us to
wherever you're going to go. And which stop do you want? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, I love that. You've just got a bus to yourself. It's great. Yeah.
I've had a bus to myself, not because I was very late in the park, just because
it's so nice when it happens. I've been trying to search. It's a shame because Neil is not in the chat, and when he listens back to this, he'll send me a text. It's this website. There used to be a
wizard transportation.
Yeah,
it did.
It used to give you a transportation time. So if you were in Animal Kingdom Lodge, it would tell you the expected transportation time between places. Yeah, it was a really good site.
It was. I remember that.
And I know it probably because of the way
it gave you different options, didn't it? So it was a bit like if you were to go on to transport for London and look at the difference between a bus and a tube and a walking around. It would give you all the different options and which was the quickest.
But it used to be called Our Laughing Place, but it appears to have
ceased to be.
Yeah.
The website's still there, but
and it isn't. It never translated across into app mode. So again, it just was such a really useful tool. I know My Disney Experience give you the expected wait time for a bus and things like that, but
they're rubbish.
That really did.
They're not real.
The only way I would suggest now, and this is perhaps a good way, a good hack, if you're trying to do that yourself, is if you're in a certain place, do a Google map of it while you've got Wi-Fi, and then just either see how long it will take in a car, and then translate that kind of into Disney transportation and say, well, if it's going to take 20 minutes in a car from Animal Kingdom to wherever, it'll probably be half an hour on the bus.
Sure, it's like I just take how long I think things will take and double it.
I think
and also, if you are lost on Disney property and you're not sure where to go, open the My Disney Experience app. Make sure and put in where you're going, and you can actually get directions in the app. So if you're in the park and go, I want to go find where the toilets are, you can do that, put that in there, and it'll give you a little map and see, a bit like Google Maps, show you where it is and how many minutes it takes to get there approximately.
Or ask a cast member.
Yeah,
that was works.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things that make you a good guest rather than having a general whinge.
I think maybe learn your limits know your limits with alcohol in the heat.
Okay.
Maybe. When especially
around Epcot.
If you're drinking around Epcot, if you're going to be outside, you're wandering around and you're drinking alcohol, fair play to you. I want to be a part of your gang. But bear in mind that you need to also drink a lot of water and be aware of how hot it is.
Yeah, sure.
Because 3 drinks in England is not 3 drinks in Florida. Let me tell you, it's not the same 3 drinks. So
but, and also be aware of what kind of drunk you are. If you want to,
Yeah, Sean.
if you're one of those, actually, yeah, I'm with you there, Sean. Don't have limits. If you're one of those people who becomes quite happy when you've had a few beers and things like that, that's fine. I can deal with you. It's the ones that become
Aggressive, agitated,
yeah,
verbose,
and they are, and unfortunately, they do tend to appear around Epcot for a weekend. Surprisingly, not British. I hasten to add. I'll just put that out there too.
I agree.
But they.
That's another one for me. I just thought of something else.
Oh, that's good. Right, they just take away other guests' experience of a great day and a great time. So don't be that person. Be the happy person. Go on, Claire. What you thought of?
So you were talking earlier about self-awareness.
Yeah.
And I would say there is something about being aware of how loud you are speaking.
I'm sorry, Claire. I keep apologising. You keep holding it against me.
So there is a few things that irritate me. We've covered some of them today. One of them is I have been 3 times in the Dahlia Lounge, and I appreciate that Coronado is a convention resort, so you are going to get groups of people there on convention having a few drinks in the evening. I swear to you, I have never heard people speaking so loudly to someone who is literally sat next to them as the 3 times I've been up there, and there's been a group of youngish, I use the word youngish, 20s American girls.
Yeah.
Talking, and sometimes boys as well, talking at each other at the top of their voice. I mean, it was so painfully loud that actually Nikki and I couldn't speak to each other. In the end, we just stopped talking and listened, because it was hysterical because they'd all had far too much. But the volume, and I don't know what it is. There's something weird that happens, and the volume just escalates, and then the next person's louder, and the next person's louder. Meanwhile, everyone else in the place is going, what is going on? So there is, and I just can't bear it. It really, and I don't know whether I've become incredibly British at that moment and go, seriously, are you having a laugh? I can't deal with it.
I'm with you, Claire, and can I also extend that, and we'll make it about being a good guest. Now, if you've had a particularly grumpy time with your family, it usually ends up being with your wife or your husband, and you're in a queue line with the kids, and then you're suddenly slagging off either the aforesaid wife or husband to your kids in quite a loud way. Be prepared that the rest of the queue are not going to ignore you. They're going to be stood in the queue, sniggering like mad
everywhere.
And listen to everyone's conversation all around this one family. And as you go in one of them Disney queues, it goes up the way and then down the way and up the way again, and you're like, excellent! Look, we're right back to that happy family again. Here we go. Let's see.
Happiest place on earth.
Yeah. And it is so it amuses me massively. I've got to admit.
Reasons.
But please just don't be that family. That's what I would say to anyone. It's the fact that if you've got basically stuff, gripes, just go and talk about them elsewhere. A queue line, and I know if you're in a long queue line, it's one of those moments that creates a bit of ire. But
I get really irritated by people that feel it necessary to curse and swear when there's lots of kids around. It happened to me. Actually,
it goes back to the awareness thing at the beginning.
So it actually happened to me on the plane last week on the way back from Ibiza. I was sat next to Millie, and there's a couple of people in the row in front of us who were clearly very drunk, and the language that was coming from them. And like Millie's 12, she's not an innocent young child. She is very nearly a teenager, but I was really uncomfortable with the language that they were using, and I actually went and spoke to the steward and said, I'm really sorry, is there anywhere else we could sit, because I am not comfortable with what's coming out of their mouth. And actually she spoke to them and said, you're being really loud, it's not acceptable, there's other people on the flight. I just can't bear it. You are, let's face it, you're in Disney. That kind of behaviour may wash up the road in the Universal parks. Down in Disney, it's not okay. I find it really unacceptable that if you are there, yes, there are adults there on their own. Yes, there are people with children. Yes, there are families who are somewhere in between. Just a little bit of self-control and decorum. There's no need for it. There really isn't. And just, think about who's around you. I actually don't want my child to listen to you cursing and using the C word and various things in front of her. Thank you.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yep.
I'd agree with that. I think that's 100%. And I think as well, again, it comes back to that whole bit about actually trying to keep other people's holiday magical as well. Because they've got every right to have a good day when perhaps you're not having a good day, but let's not share it out
I love Mark Whiting's comment. He's just like, can we just replace at Disney 2 pretty much everywhere? Right, Mark? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just general poor behaviour. Why is it okay? It's not okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel really grumpy tonight now. John, I was in a good mood.
Not at all.
And now I'm like,
I think that's a lot.
Where you can go and enjoy all of this.
A lot of people ruin their holidays by accident. And I think a lot of it stems of lack of planning. Like you said, Robin, about having limits of alcohol. But I think everyone has their limits of what they want to do on the holiday. What are they booking the holiday for? What do they want to do?
How much walking do you actually want to do? Do you want to do 20, 30,000 steps a day? Can you do that for 14 days? I can't.
Yes.
Some people can. I cannot.
I'm like a Labrador. 20 steps today, 20,000 today. I'm ready for 24 tomorrow.
Yeah. But knowing what you want is knowing going into it, knowing what you're able to do. If you have you have an office job where you sit down most of the time, you don't do a lot of exercise.
Oh, but Disney training.
You need to get into Disney training. You'll enjoy your trip so much more if you're not exhausted and in pain. So there's lots of little things you can do that will help you be a good guest because you won't be feeling grumpy. You won't be thinking, oh, my feet hurt, my back hurts, I'm knackered, I've had enough.
And don't buy all the tickets for every park because you'll be sort of guilty on holiday. Like, we've got to fit everything in. And we've only got 2 weeks to get all these 10 parks and whatever else you want to fit in. It doesn't work out.
What about nutrition? So,
it changes on holiday.
It does. And
if you want to
play havoc. That can play havoc with people's digestive system.
Yes.
Which makes people feel not very well. So I would say one of the things to be a really good guest is to make sure you drink enough water. I know you said it earlier, Robin, in relation to the alcohol. But make sure you get your free iced water. Go to any quick service window where there's a soda machine and just stack up on your free water. Take a water bottle, fill it up.
Take a water bottle. Take one that keeps your drink cold. I'm not talking a plastic one. I'm talking like a metal walled one that keeps your drinks cold so you'll enjoy it. You won't just be drinking warm water because then you won't be enticing.
And I think Morgan irritated me last summer enormously because he kept saying, remember, you've got to hydrate for tomorrow, not for today.
We call it pre-gaming.
Right.
Pre-game, you have a water before you even leave. You need to have a whole water before you leave.
I'm just imagining our WhatsApp chat when we're all out there I'm
going to start saying that every morning. Hydrate for tomorrow. That's the thing, because actually there's
you'll be on mute before you know it. There's
nothing worse than being in the middle of a Disney park with a stinking headache because you haven't drunk enough water, because that makes you feel rubbish.
Getting actually dehydrating, vomiting, passing out, and having Disney come and grab you and take you to the
scoop you up and take you to the
room. Yeah. Medical first aid, that's the one.
Yeah,
it's no fun.
That's not a bit of backstage you ever want to visit.
No. Twice I have got dehydrated and been sick in Disney because it happens so quickly. You have to pre-game with your water and take a water bottle. Get your free iced water, refill your water with that, and then you've got it, stick it in your bag. It'll keep you happier. I mean, you'll constantly be in the toilet, but that's okay.
And there's more places to refill your water bottles now.
Yes.
COVID, there's so many more.
But actually, the free water tastes nicer.
Yeah. It's usually filtered.
B mentioned something about tipping mousekeeping if you're staying on site. Is that something that you do?
Yeah, we usually do.
Yeah.
We usually do. With
It's
DVC,
interesting
we only
because
get them every 4
DVCs
days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Or every 8. So.
Or every 8, yeah.
Okay.
But
I have
it's
done.
something we've always done generally.
Yeah.
We once had a little...
we had the option to skip it and get. What did we skip?
Oh yeah, you can skip mousekeeping and then get.
And they get, and at the time they were giving you a gift card.
That's right, like $50 gift card or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like $10 a day.
Yeah.
So for our 2-week trip, it was like, yeah, it was quite nice.
Did you?
Oh, you made money out of not giving a tip. That's
we didn't have to tip them, and we didn't get mousekeeping. But I have to admit, they kept knocking at they kept knocking at the door and said, "Oh, do you want us to take your rubbish?" So they said come by anyway. So it was.
You had to make your own bed.
Yeah, that's it, Claire.
Yes.
You've lost me now.
There is something day on a resort. There is something very nice. It's mousekeeping day. So you come back from the park and it's like, oh yes.
I've got to say, we used to have little envelopes that were printed. We got printed for mousekeeping as well, and it was such a lovely thing because, and it doesn't have to be a big, massive amount of money. It's just a few dollars. Pop it on the top, and then, strangely enough, they see that very quickly, and it's amazing. Back in the day when you got loads of toiletries, it was amazing how many extra toiletries you also got given as well.
No, but that's the thing. If you do it on the first couple of days, and the rest of this day you get amazing service. It's like if you sometimes if you pre-tip your server, if you're in a nice restaurant, you get an amazing service for the rest of the evening. I actually, John, you just reminded me of something we did, and I was going to do for this summer, which was that Millie and I and Morgan made up little gift bags for cast members.
Yeah,
we had like little like organza, like the little bags that you put wedding favours in, the ones that are like the 5 almonds covered and stuff. So we got some of them, and into there we put some fruit salad and some blackjack sweets. We put some love hearts and some little bottles of bubbles, like blow bubbles.
Oh yeah.
And a little piece of paper that was printed that just said, "Thank you for making our trip magical." And then I think I actually put our Instagram handle on it or something. And we gave them out to cast members all over Walt Disney World. I think we made like 200 before we went. We spent a day making them and took them all in the suitcase. And we were giving them to all sorts of people.
Yeah.
No rules, no limits. Just hand them out to anyone who did something amazing.
We've done that a few times. I made up a load of cards that has got Crush on it, and it says, "Thanks for making our trip totally sweet," and then they'd have some sweets in.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they cast members, they may not eat the sweets because sometimes people are like, not sure about that. But they do value that as a little gift. And
yeah.
So we need to get on and deal with that.
I think that underlines everything that we've spoken about. It's like treat your cast members very well. I think that's very important. Be self-aware. And I won't have the third one because you can come to your own conclusion about don't be and you can put your own words in there. And I think that's a perfect. I think maybe when everyone arrives in Orlando Airport, you just like.
Buddy Dyer should say it on the monorail.
Yeah.
Welcome to Orlando. Don't be a. That'd be great.
But I just think, I actually think we've done well not to get.
We should get it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I think that would be it. Yeah, it'd be like that old Frankie says
He's
t-shirt.
got it right.
Yeah,
Frankie says
be a plunker.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
Yeah. That's a really polite way. Yeah, but then you'd have to explain that to people in America because they won't understand what plonker is.
You could do a whole selection of British ones with all the day.
Yeah. Where's Anna? Where's Anna in the chat when you need her? There you go. She's the one who taught me. She taught me a great one.
Yeah.
But I think that's such a lovely way of actually rounding off exactly where we're all at, because I think when you have a holiday ahead of you, and we all want the holiday to be absolutely perfect, but the only time you're going to get a holiday to live up to any form of expectation is actually by being the better person yourself and actually taking a look at what some of these people do. cast members especially, they might be on a 12-hour shift. You might catch them at exactly the wrong moment in that 12-hour shift that they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But don't assume that it's because of you. You know,
No.
it can be
I've
many
been the
other
person
reasons.
before you.
Yeah.
You know, so we all want the most magical time, and we're actually all going to a magical place, and I think that's such a wonderful way of breaking up for the summer. Yeah, I forget this. I used to
Makes me really excited to go.
I know, yeah, and that's the thing, you know. It's that bit, you know, when you were a kid, right? And it was the very, very first evening of the summer holidays, and the whole 6 weeks spread out in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's just like you no longer had a care in the world.
Yeah. It's like the last day of school. Who brought Mousetrap? Cornhole.
Mastermind. Anyone have Mastermind back in the day? Them little peg things.
Yeah.
What a rubbish game that was. Right. Anyway, we're going too long again. But guys, have an amazing summer. It really
It's going to be great.
It is, and I think for anybody in the chat, anyone who's listening, anyone who watches us regular, just be aware we will probably pop up at times, either in Waffler's Arms or on Instagram.
I think there needs to be some sort of live show with everyone when you're all there in August. Even if it's a 20-minute show, I think it needs to happen.
We can do something. That's it.
Live from Chef de France to prove we've actually gone.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Live from Impressions to France.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Keep everyone awake.
Yeah. And if you're looking for that Impressions de France sort of moment, 1st of August, listen to the podcast, because actually there was some mightily funny moments in that.
There's some moments out of context. We spoke about Tesco Express. We spoke about tea.
Yeah.
All the British things.
Buying DVC in Canada. It just
right. Join us for that.
Oh,
and if you happen to see us out and about in the parks in August, do say hello.
Yes, definitely.
We like the Walt Disney animatronic. We look different.
Different in real life.
In real life.
Yeah.
Ben's really tall, people, just so you know. You wouldn't guess. Becca's chair is like pumped up.
It really is.
Ben's actually really tall.
I thought I'm just really short normally.
Yeah. No, do come and say hello. Even if it's that moment that you're not quite sure whether you should say something, say it anyway.
Absolutely.
And if you're within
get a photo. Don't forget a photo. I want to see the pictures.
Yeah. No, definitely, because it certainly was something that I remembered so much from our trip last year, of just how many people we met and just how many amazing people became part of the whole day. And you know, it really does. It makes all of this so much more fun when you actually see someone in a completely different context, and they're like, "Oh, we watch you," and like, "There you go. That's quite nice to know."
Just 6 years ago, if someone said we watch you, that's going to sound really creepy.
That does sound good, actually.
Yeah. No, but it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So let's wrap up. And all I'm going to say is just podcast is still carrying on through August. So do catch that. We will be around and about. Catch up with us in the Waffler's Arms and on our socials. We'll attempt. Ben will do it without thinking. I'll do it by making a huge, massive techie sort of effort, like, you know, to put something in there whilst we're on holiday. And then when we return in September, we look forward to sharing loads of that with you. Whilst Robin's in Disneyland, I hasten to add, so we've got another Disneyland epic coming up as well. But it seems really weird because we've done so many shows over 6 years. I don't think we've ever had a time off break. So I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been part of this over the past 6 years, to everyone who's in the chat, not just tonight, but has been in the chat continually. And we also appreciate those who actually listen to this as a podcast. And we also appreciate those people who actually, for the time we're going to be off, are actually going to miss us a little bit. Which, again, looking back 6 years ago, we never thought that would actually happen either. But I know what happens when my favorite podcasts go away for a few weeks, you're either on holidays and you're like, oh, I've got to find something else to listen to. And it's not good. So have a magical holiday, everybody.
Yeah.
And on the other side of it, we'll be back before you know it, which is also the downside of going on a Disney holiday. You never want to come home. But we'll be back in September. And until then, we'll see you soon.
See you real soon.
See you soon.
Now my wheels in motion and my